Hey y'all, it's Megan. If you're returning to my channel, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome aboard. So since it is spooky season, I wanted to talk about some of the things that are at Disney that kind of just like creep me out. So I've just been kind of keeping a running list for a while of things that just kind of make me go ugh when I'm at Disney, and I have noticed that there's quite a few that are focused in Adventureland and Liberty Square. So that's what I'm going to talk about today, is those specifically that are in Adlib. So let's start with the Jungle Cruise, because there's got to be something there that creeps me out, right? I was kind of creeped out by the temple, not gonna lie. If you were in it by yourself at night on a dead boat, it could be kind of creepy. But the thing that really gave me the woo was before you go into the temple, specifically at night, when you come through and your lights from your boat hit the crocodile right by the temple. His little beady eyes come up, and he's got that crocodile snarl, and it's just like, ugh. So I stopped looking at little Lyle, the crocodile over there, before you went into the temple, because he just gave me the wah-wahs. I didn't like looking at him. So that's one thing at Jungle that really was just like, nope, not a fan. Not gonna look at it. He makes the hair on my arm stand up for some reason, and I have no idea why. Moving on to Jungle's neighbor, Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, it's pirates. There's looting and plundering and yo-ho, yo-ho. But there's one scene that has always, ever since I was really little, kind of freaked me out. And I don't know why that it's always bothered me, but it's the cannon scene. And if you have been on Pirates, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're going by a pirate ship and they're shooting cannons. And as a small child, and even now as an adult, I cringe when I'm in that show scene, because I'm like, what if someone has broken into Disney World and they have malicious intent and they actually have a cannon in that ship, a prop ship? It's not a functional pirate ship with functional cannons. My logical brain knows this. What if someone has an actual cannonball and they shoot it at us and we die? That is a thought process that goes through every single time I have ever ridden that ride in that scene. And I know it's illogical, but that does not stop that scene from creeping me the heck out. Let's go to an obvious one. Haunted Mansion. Everyone is probably at some point in their life creeped out by something at the Haunted Mansion. That's its literal purpose. But the things that bother me at the Haunted Mansion are, I feel like, not the things that are supposed to creep you out. The graveyard scene has never creeped me out. The dancing ghosts, the hitchhiking ghosts that show up next to you have never creeped me out. The thing that has always given me the chills is literally when the ride says cold blowing chills, and there's the endless hallway, and you're coming right by the hidden Donald chair. If you've seen my Haunted Mansion history and trivia, I'll link that up there down in the description. If you haven't seen it, you can check it out. The hallway that just kind of keeps going, and there's a candlestick or candelabra or whatever that's just kind of floating by itself down at the end of the hallway. And there is like a breeze. There's a little air conditioning breeze that blows by you, and it could give you chills because, like, it's hot outside and you're sweaty, and then, like, you get a burst of cold air and you're like, ooh, and like, that feels nice. But I literally get the chills because I don't like looking down hallways or tunnels and not knowing what's at the end of it. And seeing that candlestick just kind of floating there, I'm like, what is holding that candlestick? I don't like this at all. And I've always been like that. I have ridden the Haunted Mansion literally more times than I can count. Still bothers me. I still am like, what is at the end of that hallway? Here's the big one. This one is one that you can only experience if you actually work at Disney World, so I will probably never get to be creeped out by this particular thing again. But when I was working there, if I was closing, which I often was, as I've mentioned before, college program students are often like the late shifts. So if you are closing, then you are responsible for going through and making sure that all the guests are out of Adventureland and Liberty Square. That's just kind of one of the things that you're doing as part of the closing stuff, is like after that park hours are actually over, then you walk through and you just make sure that guests are making their way towards Main Street, where the Emporium and stuff is still open for like an hour after park close usually. but you just got to get the different lands clear so custodial and maintenance and everything can come in. And one of the things that we had to do as skippers was we had to go over to Liberty Square, and we had to, once it was completely clear and we'd verified that it was clear, we had to get this banner that we had two little stanchions that there's little holes in the ground that you don't ever notice because you're not looking for that. But we would stick these poles into the ground and stretch this banner across that basically said, you know, Liberty Square is closed. It's clear, like there's no more guests over here. And it was just like the notice for maintenance and custodial and all the after hours people that like, okay, there's no more guests. You can come in and do your thing. But to do that, there have to be no guests. And that was usually a like 2 skipper job because it was really tight, this banner. I don't know if they've changed it, but you had to stretch it pretty good to get it across. So it wasn't like you could just like clip it here and then clip it here and be done. You had to have 2 people. So it has to be empty. And if you have been going to the parks lately, at nighttime you might be getting kind of a taste of this because the park capacity is much lower than usual. But to be in Disney World when there's not a big crowd is creepy AF. And to be one of like 3 people standing in Liberty Square with the music still going, all the ambient sounds still going, and you're just there by yourself at night, it's weird. It's really creepy. It's really cool. I'm not gonna say it's not cool because it was like a once in a lifetime kind of opportunity that not everyone gets to see it like that. So I'm thankful that I did get to see the park in that light, or lack thereof, but it's also really creepy. So I was like, I was never wanting to be by myself. I was like, oh, please people come with me, because it was kind of spooky to be in the park with no other people around. And I think that it's really the fact that all the music and stuff is still playing. So it's like, the park is still alive, it's still doing its thing, it's still like normal, but there's no one around. And that's the weird thing, because when you're used to Disney being like shoulder to shoulder, like people are all around, milling around, doing everything all day, then to be by yourself and it's like an apocalyptic kind of thing, like a dystopian, everyone's disappeared and it's just you left. That's the kind of feeling I got. Maybe I'm crazy. So those are my ad lib Adventureland Liberty Square things that are kind of spooky, kind of creepy when you are at Disney. Let me know down below, what are the things when you're at Disney that kind of give you the creeps and kind of make your skin crawl a little bit, but just something that's just like innocuous, that's like it's not even meant to scare you, and it's just like, ugh, I don't like that. So let me know those down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, y'all.